Okay. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. It's the January 8th CEDC Governance and Nominating Committee meeting. We have a very hefty packet here. I'm not sure if we need to go through in detail. We have a consent agenda, which includes many things. The minutes from our last meeting, the committee charter review, the 2024 discharge duties, equal employment opportunity policy, procurement policy, property acquisition policy, property disposition, and the whistleblower policy. I'm assuming these are all standard. Yes. Andy, nothing's changed. I didn't see anything, any strike throughs. So this is just once a year So I imagine we need approval of this for our full board, to present to the full board for approval by the board.
Great. So I will make a motion that we approve it and send it on to the full board.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Jim. All those in favor?
Aye.
So carried. And next we have the review of board and committee attendance report, which I know we talked about at the last meeting. So
it's been updated for the end of the year.
It's been updated, and we did not present this form to the board, I think last time, or was this the exact one that we presented?
It was probably the same one.
It's the same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
updated and current, and there's nothing that we need to call out at this point.
No, I think we only had 2 meetings.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 meetings.
So this is
since you
just the
reviewed it
attendance.
last, yeah.
And this gets presented to the full board
Yes.
also?
Yes, because they're required to review it
Okay,
annually.
okay, so really when we present it to the full board, we're asking everyone if they've reviewed it, it'll go out in the packet, and that's it. We're not calling. Last time I read through the policy of being at the meeting, and I think that would do it, right? Okay, so we just need approval on this also to present to the full board for approval.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
So carried. And next, committee appointments. Jim, do you want to talk about that, or is that?
I don't think I have any information about that.
Okay, is there anything we need to do at this point? I know the loan
I
committee
think
is
at
kind
the
of late.
January meeting of the board, you would either confirm or adjust any.
Oh, I see. So we're not talking about new assignments or anything like that?
No.
Where do we put Christine in?
I haven't
Because
been a
this
part
might
of
be a
it.
great one for her if she knows different members of the community to try to get, or at least so she knows.
We're trying to fill 3 other board positions, so, yeah.
Exactly, but if she knows
Yeah,
maybe some fresh people to get on the board, I was thinking.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, she's well
She's
connected
social
and social, yeah. So that would be, I thought about that also. I wasn't sure when and where. So I guess this is the time and place to talk about it.
Good. So let's invite Christine to serve on the governance and nominating committee.
Okay.
And as far as the other committee appointments, we'll just, at the board meeting, entertain a motion to reappoint same people to the same committees.
Okay. And then are we, in terms of the loan committee, would we look at, when we bring, because we still have 3 board positions to fill, would we look at someone coming in to be on the loan committee also? Because I feel like we are down.
Yeah, that would help, at least one.
Just like for a quorum, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah, okay. So that would be something we would keep in mind for incoming board members.
She has 6, so you could get to 7, you know.
One more.
On low.
Yeah.
Load her up, put her on loan too, you know.
She's not busy. I will talk to her. I think she would be good on the loan committee if she's up for it. If she doesn't have any other conflicting morning meetings. Okay. I'll make sure to follow up with Christine regarding that. Anything else on committee appointments or
No,
moving on to annual meeting planning? Mike, is that something you wanna talk to us about?
Well, I think that, Jim and I will be discussing, your input and guidance, the venue, the keynote speaker, and those details. But I think we wanted to focus in, since, we only have one more meeting after this before the annual meeting, that Andy and I will do a review of the bylaws as we do every year. And we will also want the committee to work towards, identifying additional board members that could be elected, and affirmed at the annual meeting by the membership. And, do we have, working with Lisa to see, which class of members, might be up this year for, reappointment or rolling off?
I don't think there's anybody
Yeah.
what's going on. You're agreeing or there is?
There is one. At least one.
Okay,
So I wanted to get those things on everyone, both staff and the board committee attention. So, we will send that out prior to the full board meeting so that we can have that discussion, you and I, and then you can bring it up to what extent it needs to the full board. But, is there anyone rolling off? If so, who? Are they eligible for re-upping? Are they interested? If they're not, we have to look at candidates, and again, that goes to quorum, because our quorum is a quorum of the 17 seats, not a quorum of the number of board members sitting. And,
So that's full board.
yeah,
So we'll know that by the next full board meeting and then the
We'll get this
board will vote
information.
on the
Well,
reappointment.
I think the board, it's more for information, because then we would go to those who are, depends on who the candidates are that have to be re-upped or terminated or rolled off. And, officers who, once you become an officer, you're even if you've met the 6-year term, you don't have to go off. But, we can get that data to you, this afternoon. And then I think, that'll identify for us how many seats we have open. And then, hopefully we can, recruit some people to, bring to the next governance and board meeting, to appoint, and then have everyone that's, on the board as of that date approved at the annual meeting by the membership to the extent it's necessary.
yeah, we need to make a priority of filling some of these vacancies, because we're sweating bullets,
At the
prior
quorum.
to.
Dangerously low.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
there's certain things we can table if we lack the quorum, but we need to keep the loan pipeline going. And we owe it to those applicants to decide on their applications.
Yeah.
So let's all agree to see if we can think of qualified people we can approach about filling this vacancy.
There's also, you can sit on the loan committee even if you're not a board member, is that
I
correct?
believe that's correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
And the theory there was that you might have some bankers, but then we were finding that it was difficult, because if you had a banker that wasn't on the board that was going to do it, then if the consolidation of banking, they may have been providing loans or had a business relationship with that client anyway.
But we could ask someone who may not be sure about the commitment for
Yeah.
a board member. I know some finance people, I was
Yeah, that would
thinking
be-
like either a retired person who has time on their hands or a
Yeah,
finance
that'd be
person
great.
who we might think about being on the board also, that might be.
It might be a training ground.
I mean, Mike and I will look at the bylaws, and I was thinking about it. I don't recall any issues coming up over the past year, other than the quorum question, right? But, looking at it, I mean, we require a majority. It's not, I mean,
Right.
I don't think we should, I mean,
Yeah.
it used to be 3 people, which was crazy.
Yeah.
We actually, I think, had it a little bit higher. We moved it to a majority.
Well, and it was a quorum of the number of seats filled. And, you could conduct business with 3 people, and you could end up, 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
2 out of team could decide what was gonna happen here.
So I think to
Sometimes
Jim's
it
point,
did.
we need to bring people, not modify the rule, we need to have people here for
Yeah.
just the,
And it's important to maintain that level of transparency and,
absolutely.
I also think, Justin is such a good, he was such a good addition and that, someone who can easily look at a balance sheet and know, the 3 to 5 questions to ask and in 30 seconds, he can read through it. So that was really,
with the ongoing relationship that we have on a deposit level with Bank of Greene County, it's important to have someone from that organization on the board, but Justin is a great choice.
so that covers off the board openings, the bylaw review. Do we need to discuss anything with that or?
Not yet.
No.
We'll give Andy and Mike a chance to put their heads together, see if there's anything that needs to be tweaked. No major.
We did
We did a significant revision last year. I know we talked about it before, but when I came on and when Mike came on, the bylaws hadn't been changed in 26 years or something. And we've probably done 4 revisions since Mike's been here.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, you should look at it annually, but we did do a significant revision, so I wouldn't expect anything.
And the other side of that whole question was the original document, meeting notice was to be sent by telegram.
I love it.
Pony Express.
And I think one of the things we did on the last round was updated it for the revisions to the open meeting law.
Right.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be more, I'll take an analysis and see if there's anything new coming out of the ABO.
Yeah, true.
That's really probably the extent of it,
What is that?
from the Authority Budget Office.
Authority
If they
Budget,
have
okay.
any sort
Yeah.
of new things they want us to
Include.
include or
Okay.
consider.
Okay, next up is the staffing update.
I think that may have been a carryover, but Alondra's been doing very well. And we've had a couple of staff who have been out over the last 2 weeks with COVID and colds and flu and things, but we've rotated through that. The rest of us have stayed in our corners, so we don't interface. We haven't gotten to the point where we call each other. But, we do have a new phone system, and Steve has done a great job getting that set up for us.
Is that voice?
Voice over
Yeah.
data with Mid Hudson.
So you can forward to your cell
Cell
phone now?
phone,
That's
okay.
great, nice.
And we do have, I'm finalizing the draft for review by the board of the, first with the executive committee and then the board, the HR manual. There were some state law changes that required updating that. And, I think one of the areas we're going to have to address is the remote working issue. And I don't think it's very effective here to have, if we have it, we have to have a policy. Or if we don't have it, we have to have a policy because, it's very disruptive if there's only 3 of the 7 of us here one day because, I'm gonna work from home today. So there's, been, I think we've been flexible in the past, certainly if it's snowing or there's, weather issues. If you're in, if you live in New Lebanon and you're in New Lebanon for a meeting at 3 o'clock, you don't have to come back here to check out. If you have, we can be flexible, but I think it's very difficult in a small organization when you're interfacing with people on a daily and hourly basis to not have a plan. And we're certainly, that did come up when we were hiring for the project manager's position with one of the candidates that resulted in him not coming. But I don't want to put blinders on and realize and pretend it's not an issue or will be an issue going forward. And I think it's only fair to the employees to say what the rules are what policy is, rules is the wrong word. And then between the employee and the organization, decide whether that's something you can live with and work here. But we have to, I think we just have to find out what's reasonable, so that I don't want to do one-offs, because what'll happen is I won't be consistent, because you'll make the decision on the fly, and the person who,
Did you talk about having a flex day, then 1 day a week?
yeah, but it'd have to be it'd probably have to be the same day for everybody, because I can't have.
Like a Monday or a Friday?
Yeah, but I'd have to, let's talk about it at
Yeah.
a executive session.
I'm just curious, it works for, I mean, you saw it in the news, JP
Yeah.
Morgan is calling everyone back.
The government's gonna be coming back.
I mean, it's gonna affect commercial real estate
It's
if
very,
all those leases are
It's
still
so challenging
gonna
to
run
stay
out,
tied
you
into
know?
a small business when you are not there and you miss so much.
and then
So
and
challenging.
then I found in during COVID.
I wish
then-
it wasn't a thing.
I found it during COVID that people then said, well, you didn't tell me about that. And I said, well, you weren't here, I can't remember.
And you can't remember.
So, but I think we wanna address it so that it's clear. And then, I wanna be reasonable, but if it's Friday or Monday and 5 people say I'm taking Friday and 2 people show up on Monday, you might as well be closed.
Well, do you need to have the office open? I mean, what, if you were open,
Well,
if the office was only open 4 days a week and everyone was working from home, because you're all communicating online anyway.
But we're not, we're
But,
not.
but it doesn't, you feel that it needs to be 5 days a week? Like,
Well,
yeah, with the office.
Yeah, one of the things that, going into relating to staffing is, we did make the decision at the board level to go with the cloud, with the new company. I did speak with the legacy company who we've been dealing with for 30+ years. He obviously was very disappointed and can't understand how.
But he couldn't bring his numbers down.
We can't understand how his competitor is going to deliver it without, like selling a car, give the car away and hope you make it on service. And he wished us well, and he is doing work for a number of businesses in Hudson, and it was a very professional conversation. They're coming in this week, they were here yesterday to start laying out the transition. I think one thing that, may evolve us into something but we're not there yet, and that's with shareware. Alondra does have a background in some of these platforms of shared work.
Yeah.
But we don't do any shared work on with technology here.
Yeah.
And part of it is because I don't want to. 50% of us are over an age that we function well with technology, but
Maybe there's no need in your workflow.
Yeah.
I do notice that it did clarify the gaps in communication when we've had to have remote employees doing certain jobs. We have totally different job,
Yeah.
so you can't compare, but it was clear to me that I was not being clear to this, you know what I mean? It really did,
forces you to have a
It-
policy and a procedure.
it does,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And that's all I acknowledge that, and I don't want to,
It's the gaps from the top that were made clear when some of my employees wanted to go remote. It's a lot more work for certain people.
And for you managing.
and some
people.
employees,
Yeah.
we have some employees who, even COVID, I didn't tell them we're gonna be fined $10,000 if you come in, so sneak in the back door, but they had to come to the office to do their work, because it was just how they
It
function.
was the best of times, it's the worst of times.
But it is something that is in flux in every corporation and business, and we don't wanna make it so that people don't wanna work here. But we gotta have something that works.
It's a small organization that requires interfacing with people and your clients also, so it makes sense.
No, other than that, we also are going to, Jessica had set up a program for us that we didn't implement, but Alondra's gonna help us with some of the policy and procedure stuff. And we are going to go through the formal process of an evaluation. And then we'll, we've been doing increase increases in June. So we did it several over time during COVID to catch up with the market, but this way we can have some goals and objectives so that when we are doing reviews that mid-year, we'll be in a position of having a basis on which to do it other than throwing the papers down the stairwell and grading them based on. So I think, and it's a simple process. It's the same form that the executive committee used in doing my review. And I think there are some projects that we do need to get done, and we are going to be a little bit inefficient for a short period of time learning the new cloud-based platform, because everything gets updated with it. All the outlook's going to be different, right? Because it's the next level of, I think we're on 10, and this is a higher level.
Yeah.
And so I think there's some concern that staff has expressed that we're working through, but we'll have the resources to make sure that it gets done. And again, I think with Riley and Alondra being tech savvy, that we'll be able to get to that next level as part of this process.
Great, yeah. I am on Outlook. I have a client who is it's completely remote and it's all on Outlook, SharePoint, it's the same system, and it's not as intuitive as an Apple work at all, but it's pretty easy once you get it. I mean, it's set up for corporate, so it's all tied in, and you'll hit some bumps in the road. It'll take you probably a month or two.
The big thing is being sure that right now when between paper files and what's on our server, when I asked Lisa, do you have a 10-year-old pilot? In 3 minutes we can get it.
Right. Who is the person on your staff? Because that's, when I've done this in the past, it's important to kind of have someone auditing. You kind of look at your file, your like folder file, have them print out of your entire file structure, folders on your server now, and then make sure someone on the staff, not the person who you're outsourcing it to, every 10, just go through and audit it. Is that file there? Is that file there?
Yeah. We're working on that.
Yeah.
That'll be part of this
I would
overhaul process.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing we have to look at is we have to review the ABO rules. We may not need to be keeping 20-year-old backlog. I mean, if it's a 10-year pilot and it's year 6, yeah. But, when I look at the City of Hudson website now, they're only showing 2 years of past minutes because that's all that's required. I mean, not that you wouldn't put those things somewhere off the webpage and in a permanent vault, but I think we went overboard in trying to be transparent because we have 10 years of minutes on the website.
Oh, we have more than that.
Yeah.
We have since, I think I can go back to 93.
Do you can you
on our
see
file,
right
not
now
on the
if people
website
feel it?
No,
Because SharePoint, you'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
Find you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be on a SharePoint, you'll be able to see if someone's viewed it or downloaded it.
Yeah.
But right now, you don't even know. Yeah.
It'll be fun, but it's a good thing to do, and it's the time to do it, and I know we'll.
And it's a journey.
Well, it's better than having this.
But when you're there.
It's better than having the server crash.
It really is. All these things are positive in the end, but the growing pains.
Yeah.
I think you're right, with a couple of months, and
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
fine.
it might even be more.
I was going to be a live sale only, and once in a while, I'm a completely online business, and we taught ourselves it too, that wasn't our cup of tea, but,
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But, in
we
terms
don't have
of,
a bunch of Apple ex-employees working for us, for sure, no. So,
And you'll go to find a file and it won't be there. I mean, that's just gonna happen because things in the migration are gonna move to, that's why I would recommend, I mean, this is what we all did. Get a hard drive, everyone take your do it yourself keep your own hard drive of whatever files are important to you, because they might be there, just not where you.
Well, you're
Yeah,
dealing with
that's my
someone,
recommendation.
dealing with someone whose personal filing system is searching emails for 10 years. I can find it, but it's.
Everyone's got their own system, yeah, like, oh, he sent that to me last May.
Yeah, I go.
And so May 2023 is what you're looking for, yeah.
I sometimes look at the calendars to coagulate or figure out when to go look.
Yeah.
But it's all good stuff, so.
You have, your settings also. The settings will be different on your desktop as your phone.
Yeah.
Outlook will override your settings. Yeah.
We finally figured out how to get the messages when they blink, when the lights blinking. So, I think we were all disrupted with the holiday being on a Wednesday both weeks, because, I guess that was, but I think, now that, everyone's back and, it looks like, we followed the 5-day CEDC, 5 days from when you have, I guess now it's 5 days from when you're, not when you test negative, but 5 days from when you first got tested. So Alondra will be back tomorrow. She just texted us.
Any other business? Yeah, like, any other business?
Anything from the committee?
Hello, public comment? Is anyone out there? No. Want a shot?
Home of the love.
So I guess we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
So carried.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good, guys.